We start the show with an ongoing story as the war in the Middle East reaches day 17. Israel has recently increased its offensive against Hamas. We have a team of reporters at both McMahon and Kinney's watch parties. Let's start our things off with Citrus TV's Jake Morrell. He is at McMahon's election party. That's at the Embassy Suites at Destiny USA. Jake, how are people feeling over there? Welcome back, everyone. We're back with an update on that $85 million aquarium project that's happening right here in Syracuse. Phase 1 beginning as of last week, and Citrus TV's Zach Richter joins us now live from the future site of that aquarium. Zach, good evening. Now, election commissioners here in Onondaga County, they're concerned with how the elections in the Salt City are funded. Now, Citrus TV was first to obtain video of Syracuse Congressman Brandon Williams at a holiday party in Washington berating his former campaign manager. Watch this. Sam Altman is officially back as the CEO of OpenAI, but it was not necessarily a smooth ride back to the head of the company he co-founded. Indeed, we do. The pause and ceasefire will continue for an additional 2 days. This comes after discussions by Israel and Hamas regarding an extension of the original 4-day deal. The biggest union in the country is officially on strike, and it's looking like it could last a while, Brad. Welcome back to News Live at 6. This just into our newsroom now. SU is responding to tension on campus over the ongoing war in Gaza. Former President Donald Trump has been hit with a partial gag order in the January 6 case. Federal Judge Tanya Chutkan imposed the order, preventing Trump from further attacking any potential witnesses. So new details now downstate on the New York City lawmaker arrested for bringing a gun to a pro-Palestinian rally last month. The final nail in the coffin was a damning House Ethics Committee report released before Thanksgiving. That report had substantial evidence that Santos used campaign money on Botox, designer products, an OnlyFans subscription, and other personal benefits. Well, November 1st marked the beginning of seasonal parking restrictions in Syracuse. Until April 1st, overnight on-street parking will be alternate and will be limited to one side at certain hours. Let's go north of the border now. Tensions between Canada and India continue to escalate following the killing of Sikh leader and Canadian citizen Hardeep Singh Nijjar in June. Well, it was a nice finish to early voting for Onondaga County. Board of Elections data showing a 30% increase from 2021 and nearly a 50% increase from 2019. Back in this country today, former President Donald Trump in a New York courtroom, and oh, there were fireworks. The judge overseeing this $250 million civil fraud case at one point telling the former president's lawyers to have him follow court orders or face consequences. Now, an update on the congressional hearing that took place earlier this week when New York Representative Elise Stefanik, who represents parts of upstate, asked the presidents of Harvard, Penn, and MIT if calling for the genocide of Jews was against the school's code of conduct. All three presidents dodged and they avoided that question. The manhunt continues as we mark nearly 2 full days since that tragic shooting in Lewiston, Maine. To the latest now, New York Congressman George Santos has pleaded not guilty to 10 counts of fraud. Many of the charges allege Long Island rep stole campaign donors' identities and ran up thousands of dollars in fraudulent charges on their credit cards. Liv, this is really interesting, right? Because it's not just Matt Gaetz. There is a whole flank out on the far right of the Republican Party that's kind of, you know, for lack of a better term, beefing, if you will, with Kevin McCarthy right now. What's behind all of that? We'll talk about this a little bit later, but it's interesting that Biden is asking for more money for Ukraine, given the fact that public opinion in that regard compared to Israel really isn't on that side right now. Jake, let's put this on the record. Congress has until Saturday night to avoid this shutdown, but how likely is that to happen? For the third straight election cycle, Republican presidential hopefuls are saying they plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. One strike down, one more strike to go. Hollywood writers struck a deal with the major studios last night to tentatively end the 150-day-long strike. Hey, how about this? The Food Bank of Central New York is adding on warehouse and office space expansions at its current food distribution center. Citrus TV's Maria Ashkar has more details on the need for these additions and when the project is expected to be completed. Amazon says the ads will begin early next year, similar to what Hulu and Peacock do. Disney Plus is also set to charge for an ad-free experience. $13.99 a month starting in October. You're wondering about that number, right? That's 75% more than the ad-supported version. A little bit of music for Spotify's ears, the company turning heads, the streaming giant posting its first quarterly profit in a year. An anthropologist made a shocking discovery in a Florida thrift shop over the weekend. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says he spotted a real human skull while browsing through the Halloween section.
Coke.
I guess the only good thing that comes out of this is this shrinks.
Oh my God! Here.
How about Syracuse for a second becoming like the center of the weather world? Rob Marciano
I know,
from
I
ABC
saw
World
that.
News Tonight
Yes.
here this week. Twice. And you and Lauren Holdmeyer saw him in Walnut Park.
Yes.
Right? But it's been very, very warm, very muggy. I walked out this morning. You see the little rain. It doesn't stop raining. That is the annoying part about this time of the year. But the mugginess, the humidity, it's just uncomfortable. The cold of the week. You know, it was funny. I put out today on X a post. I don't think I've seen the sun in this place probably over a week, going on two, but it kind of came out today. Look at the little peak. So no major changes for Syracuse football, but definitely some on the internet calling for it after yesterday, Sam Corcoran.